It's Grant with Recraft Creative Reuse Center in Greenville, South Carolina, coming to you with a challenge video for the Wall of Sound Loose Parts DIY Art Box. All right, so this box, along with all of our loose parts boxes, is designed for open-ended exploration. That means getting creative and being curious without any rules and without any directions. But if you would like to channel your creativity into a specific project, this video is made just for you. Because as we were putting these boxes together, going through our inventory of quirky, cool, reclaimed materials, we thought of a few specific projects that you can use the materials in this box to make. The Wall of Sound kit actually has two different challenges, real crafts, real musical instruments, that you can make with the stuff in this box. A percussion instrument, like a drum, and a stringed instrument, like a guitar. Pretty cool, right? Hopefully, you'll learn a little bit about how sound gets made. There's lots of resources online if you want to watch videos about that. But basically, I want to show you what's in your kit. First of all, you've got all of these strange and funky containers, right? So all of these you can fill with, you've also got 4 different bags of little doodads of various sizes, ranging from very tiny to kind of medium sized to larger caps and bottle caps. Now, you're going to take these, you can put them into your containers, and you can fashion a top using the foam, using the postcard, using the tape, however you want to make the top. You're going to make an enclosed box, and then you're going to have yourself a shaker. So this vial, for example, has a nice top, so it's kind of a finished one, and I've already half filled it with these tiny green plastic pieces. What were those anyway? All of our stuff, by the way, comes from local households and businesses and manufacturers, and it's diverted from the landfill. So rather than throwing it away, people make a choice to give their cool, reusable craft materials to us, and we're putting it back into creative hands like yours. So here we go. This is a percussion instrument now. I probably need some help from my friends over at Drum Percussion Studio to really make this thing sing. I don't have the best rhythm, but basically you can experiment with like putting fewer beads in it, more beads, even more, filling it all the way to the top. You can see what happens when you put the same amount of material but 2 different materials in each of these. What happens to the sounds it's going to make. So that's your percussion instrument right there. Cool. You can even take all this other stuff out and close up the box and use the box as a giant percussion instrument. And you can take these caps and you can make little micro instruments if you want to. So that's percussion. The second thing I'm going to have to show you, I'm going to get really close to the camera here, but you're going to be board that came with the kit and make your very own stringed instrument. So let's see if you can hear this here. And you can even change the pitch on it. Yeah, so I'm going to show you how to rig this up if your board doesn't already have the strings on it. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take a pony bead out of one of those jars. So parents, pay attention to this part here. You're going to want to take your fishing line. Am I showing this? Okay, fishing line. You're going to take an arm's length, like a full arm's length, and then fold it over in half. All right? You're going to take your 2 ends where they meet up. Sorry, this is so, it's fishing line, you know, it's really hard. So, but these are my 2 ends of my fishing line. Oh, this works really well. And I'm going to put them through the pony bead like that. Both ends together. And then, keeping my ends together here, I'm going to thread. It's a little tricky. You'll get the hang of it though. I'm going to take those 2 ends and I'm going to put them through the loop that was made from the middle of the string. You can also just tie it on with like a super double a double-handed knot or something like that. Oh, these fell off. All right, this is gonna be the bane of my existence. I'm gonna get this in just a second. All right, so again, I'm gonna take the two ends, I'm gonna put them through the pony bead. So far, so good. Then I'm going to thread those two through the loop. And when I snug it up, perfect. All right, there we go. So now that's an end to the string. Now this string is actually like a double string, but that's okay. They're going to get the same amount of tension. Now I'm going to take this pony bead, take your two ends again, and that's called a ball end string. So a lot of like guitars come with ball end strings, and they're a little easier to string than normally. And you just made one. How impressive is that? So I'm stringing the two strings through one of these bottom holes right here on the guitar. And look at that, it catches because the pony bead catches it on the other side. Right on, right on. All right, and now I'm going to tie them, the other side, to one of these. These are like my tuning pegs on a guitar. So I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to tie these on. Now, hold on, let me thread these through. So it's threaded through at the top. See that? Now you can make it perfectly tight if you want, but you're probably going to want to give yourself a little bit of room. So at this stage, you can just kind of tie it off with it mostly tight. Doesn't have to be super tight. It's okay if it's not super tight, but do give it 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 overhand knots. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just making overhand knots here at the top. I do not want these strings to get loose. Once I start tightening my tuning peg, this is my tuning peg. So what I've got now, this string right here, this third string that I just wound up, it's really loose, right? So I'm going to now take my tuning peg and push the string down a little bit closer to the board, and I'm going to turn it righty-tighty. As I turn it, it's actually going to make different musical notes. You could actually tune this like a stringed instrument if you wanted to. Like, you could get serious about it. You'll notice that sometimes when you tune this, there's a lot of stray threads here. As you tune it, sometimes you'll notice that it wants to like creep back on you. That's because of the tension. And the way you can adjust that is you take this this bolt on the back, this bolt, and you just tighten that up when you get the pitch that you want. And of course, you're going to have to play with it. That's part of the fun, right? Right? Pretty cool. So you could actually tune this up if you wanted to. What you may find is if you like tune it, to too high a pitch, like the strings will actually pop off on you. That's okay. Just like string it up again. You've got lots of fishing line in there. This is an experiment. This is a project. Also, you can experiment with sliding this up and down and seeing the different pitches you get that way. So this is a great way to learn about music. And this is the Wall of Sound Loose Parts DIY Art Box. So there you have it. If you're up for a challenge, you can make your very own percussion instrument as well as a stringed instrument from this random cool box of stuff. And there's also a kazoo and tuning forks and an elephone and other random things in the box too. So hope you had fun, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much.